You can't have everything at once, but you can have everything if you take your time. My good friend Dave just gave me that little bit of advice before I hit the mic, and I'm like, let me start off with that. Let me lead with that. So shout out to you, Dave. I appreciate you, brother. Nothing I want to echo before I begin. I want to give a big shout out to a review that was left by Serenity L. And she says, she also gave me 5 stars. And she says, love listening to this show as I always get a golden nugget from Troy. He always helps me get my mind right for the week ahead. Keep coming with the inspiration and truth telling you do. Snapping my fingers. Thank you, Serenity. I appreciate you. Much love, much support. Thank you for your support. Thank you for leaving the review. I am doing a drawing that if people leave a review on my podcast, you will be in a drawing to potentially get a strategy accelerator session. The value is $1,500, 100% for free, with me, with your boy, the voice of I Digress. So if I am giving you value, feel free to drop them gems in a review on the podcast, have your name and stuff entered to win, and we'll go from there. But once again, you didn't come here for that. You came here for what value am I going to bring to the table on this mic today? You know how people get on this mic in different podcasts or videos or write blogs or write posts, whatever the medium, and sometimes they just feel like, ooh, I feel triggered. Let me say something. So right now, I'm going to be blunt, I feel triggered. And I'm going to use this moment as an educational tool to bring some perspective to some things. The first thing I really want to break down is a very hard truth. You ready for it? Not everybody will see the potential of your business. Not everyone will see the potential of what you bring to the table. I got a lot more to say, but this podcast is sponsored by HubSpot. So see you in 90 seconds. Hey, I Digress listeners, we did it. The I Digress podcast has been making sound waves within the business and marketing podcast communities over the past year, and I'm incredibly happy to announce that I Digress is sponsored by the HubSpot Podcast Network. The HubSpot Podcast Network is the audio destination for business professionals who seek the best education and inspiration on how to grow a business. Yes, I'm talking about your business. Now, you know all of that aligns with the purpose and mission with each episode of I Digress. As the podcast industry is rapidly growing, you need shows you can trust. Listen to value-packed shows just like mine who are dropping business gems on how to elevate your business. From marketing to sales to entrepreneurship to leadership and so much more. Listen, learn, and grow with the diverse, knowledge-rich hosts on the HubSpot Podcast Network. To listen to level up, go to HubSpot.com/podcast network. So like I said, hard truth, not everyone will see your potential in your business and you. Not everyone will see your potential as an employee. Not everyone will see your potential as a startup. Not everyone will see your potential as a freelancer. Not everyone will see your potential as a consultant. Not everyone will see your potential as a dancer, as a creator, as a designer, as a writer, as a vlogger. There's so many other, insert your talent, insert your desire, insert your skill set, insert whatever it is that is in your heart that you want to do, that you feel that you're called to do, your passion, whatever it might be. Not everyone's going to agree. Not everyone's going to see your value. Not everyone's going to care. They're not even going to give you the opportunity to speak your mind or share your truth. And that is a fact. Now that we've gotten that out the way, let me also make this very clear. That person is only one person, or one executive, or one venture capitalist, or one potential client, or one customer, or one manager, or one recruiter, or one agency, or one gatekeeper, or one decision maker, or just simply one person to not see the value in what you feel is valuable. Last time I checked, how many people are there on the earth? I mean, because one person said no to you, one person said this is the worst thing ever, you just going to stop your whole life's dream or purpose or entity because one person said no, said it sucks, said it doesn't make sense? You realize sometimes people just be having a bad day. And when they have a bad day, sometimes that comes off as passive aggressive onto whatever you thought, hey, I got a question, I have an idea, what do you think? And they blow it up on you. So they're not even looking at it through their right mind. They're just taking it out on you. And because of that moment, I quit. My startup, not gonna do it. My website, not gonna do it. My boutique store, ain't gonna try it. My book, not gonna write it. The video I had planned I was gonna do, not gonna shoot it. I'm just not gonna do it. Nope, Nah, no. I won't let you do it. You can't let yourself do it. The I Digress listener community will not let you do it. You have to keep going.
What's up, digital world? You're listening to the I Digress audio experience with Troy Sandidge. Social media, marketing, storytelling, business, culture, and more. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1.
And even if it's more than one person, numerous people telling you that idea sucks, you're not qualified, we're not going to pay for the value that you offer, we don't think you're good enough, you don't have enough experience, you're not old enough, this doesn't make sense, you're so unorthodox, you're an outlier, insert all the stuff, insert everything. Maybe that can feel like an infinite amount of no's and rejections. I'm going to be real with you. This is the part where you must simply have conviction and have the understanding while possessing the patience to trust your skill set, to trust your ability, to trust yourself. Trust that what you want will manifest in time if you don't quit. Now, not quitting does not mean you will not have to pivot or shift or put things on pause, put things on hold, change direction, do a 180, adapt, modify, sacrifice, reset, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean you won't have to stop cold turkey and pick it up years later. All I'm saying is you have to trust that you will manifest what you desire most if you don't quit. It's just keeping your eyes on the destination no matter what happens. Just like a GPS. We're going to keep rerouting until we get to where we need to go. We're so busy about the how. And I get it. We as humans need to understand the how. Quite frankly, I just want to get to my destination. Don't act like you've been in a car. It's storming, raining, you all wet. It's dark. You trying to look at the lines to keep going and don't let it be snowing. And it seems like a long way. Traffic, and you're driving really slow because of the weather. You're tired, you're hungry, you're thinking about food, you're thinking about your favorite show on Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus, where you can just cuddle up, eat some food, and go to sleep. Whatever it might be, and you just trying to get home. Keep your eyes open, got the music playing loud, just to keep going. Maybe you got the window cracked. Not enough to let the water hit you, but enough to get the air flowing, to keep your eyes open. And it's a struggle, and it's hard. I don't care if I gotta be rerouted 10 times because there's traffic, there's, flooding, all these different things. Just get me home. I just want to go home. I just need to get home. And when I get home, the how doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, maybe it took me twice or 3 times as long to get to my destination, but you know what? I made it home. Nothing else matters at that point. In the same way with your business, in the same way with your mindset, in the same way with whatever goals and aspirations you have in your entire life. Stop caring so much about the how, because your how is going to be different than somebody else's how. You can have the exact same destination with the exact same highway, and something happens with traffic. Something happens over here. Something happens over there. You're driving this pace. They're driving that pace. You're in this car. You're in this car. They're in that car. They're in that car. And somehow you're going to get the destination a different time than them. Last time I checked, it doesn't matter about the how. I just want to get there. If that means I got to delegate someone else to do something I can't do, or I can't do as well to get to my destination, that's what it is meant. If that means I have to update my resume, if that means I have to take a slight pay cut here to get the experience needed so I can reapply again to get the position now, later, fine. If that means pausing some things that I want personally right now so I can be stable and then pick it back up when things are more in alignment for me to pursue that goal again, so be it. I'm not going to think about that when I walk across the stage with that diploma for that bachelor's degree or that master's degree or that PhD. I'm not going to think about it when I finally get the opportunity to do a TED Talk, or I'm not going to think about it when they give me the mic and I finally get paid 10 grand to speak on something I'm very passionate about to impact others while telling my story. I'm not going to think about it when I get my designs being featured in a museum or at an art show. I'm not going to think about it when this happens, when you get the house that you want, the vehicles that you want, the family that you want, and now you have enough money through your business to provide for them in a way that you never had before in your whole entire life. I'm not gonna care about the how anymore when I get to the destination. Like my friend Dave said, you can't have everything at once. It is impossible. But it is possible to have everything that you want with enough time. I get this, move on. Wait. I get this, move on. Wait. I get this, move on. Wait. There's so many different things. And so, big shout out to Dave Irwin for inspiring this message. I shared this story on Twitter in a Twitter thread, and I thought it'd be really good to complement this episode. I was always comfortable being an underdog. And a lot of people ask me like, well, why are you so comfortable being an underdog? And I always say, you always have the advantage of surprise. Most people have no idea since January of 2019. I've been quietly challenging myself to do public speaking as often as I could to get comfortable no matter the situation. I will never forget, me and my wife were coming back from New York City. It was literally during that week of the polar vortex, if you remember. It was freezing. It was negative 50 degrees where I was based in Illinois. And I remember flying back and I told my wife, I said, I'm going to be a public speaker. She asked me, like, why? Well, that just came out the blue, and it really did. And I understood that I need to elevate to grow. I kept hitting a certain ceiling, and I'm like, there's something here. I need to improve. I need to adjust. I need to adapt. Always do all possible things. And so for me, public speaking, I didn't need to be a public speaker by trade. I was going to shift that. Was going to be my career. I needed to understand and conquer that skill set by doing that action in order for me to grow in the manner and ways that I knew once I conquered that ability and harnessed that power would change the game for me. Now, let me be clear. Doesn't mean I always delivered to my standards, nor does it mean everything I said landed with those who would listen. But I realized if I wanted to grow, I would have to learn to do something I didn't want to do until it became easy. I had to face the resistance until it became a natural game of overriding the butterflies, overriding insecurities, navigating the moments of well thought out responses being forgotten in the moment the mic gets in my hand, the lights hit me and all eyes on me and I'm stuttering, I don't know what to say. And still take a deep breath in, release, and deliver something great. I understood to compensate for my insecurities, the imposter syndrome, and biases I've always faced, from my age to my skin to my own projections of my own self-worth or my feeling of unworthiness because I held on to what people said I couldn't do. I dared to do it anyway until I was recognized for it. Now, I spoke recently at Social Media Week Lima. Shout out to Jessica Phillips and her entire team at Now Marketing Group. Thank you for the opportunity to have me back once again. That was my 701st time I had spoken. Now, if you did the math, that's a lot of speaking. And that is divided up among live streaming and workshops and public speaking on stages and private speaking among small groups. Again, all this came after January 2019. And I didn't do any of that really before. I'm an unorthodox speaker. I do not have a mastery of the English language. My delivery isn't refined and is not polished. I could use pauses way more. I need to take longer breaths. I need to slow down. I admit it. But nevertheless, I have a body of work to show for it. I've put in enough work, enough reps, that I've spoken at places and in front of companies and along with other people that I never thought I would do. If I thought as I was flying home on that plane, when I wrote down the first topic I was going to speak on, that you told me at that moment that years later, not only would I be sharing the same graphic of speakers in a summit along the lines of Gary Vaynerchuk, for all of you who love yourself some Gary V, or be speaking in front of some of the greatest agency minds on the planet, be sharing stages with people who I've been admiring and looking up to for years. Jessica Phillips, Brian Fanzo, Brian Kramer. There are so many. It baffles my mind. And even though I wanted to do public speaking to get better at articulating my thoughts to a wider crowd, and understand that public speaking can enable access and give the perception and the position of power of expertise, or at least a high enough level of understanding of a certain subject matter that maybe I should reach out to this person as a client or hire this person as an employee or bring him on as a partner. And the byproducts of all of that was brand awareness, brand equity, exposure, some pretty awesome quotes, some amazing swag bags, some pretty dope experiences, having to travel the world. I'm no one special. I wasn't born into money. I wasn't born into a big access of network. I've had to fight and claw for every single thing I've ever had in my entire professional and my personal existence. It has well been documented on various past episodes of I Digress, from perfection to grit to failure. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is my point? Where am I going with all of this? What I thought was impossible was now always possible. I feared this new task because I didn't train to face it. Once I was able to face it and produce a positive outcome, it was no longer about if I could speak on any stage, and it became, how do I get better? I imagine this is the same thing when it comes to a lot of the tasks we say we can't do because it doesn't come naturally to us. Some of the greatest basketball players on this planet weren't prodigies. They weren't naturally built full of talent. You know what they did have? Reps and tenacity. And I'm going to get better. I'm going to build out the fundamentals, and I'm going to make this work. I'm going to put in the work every day, confront my fear, confront all the insecurities, confront my weaknesses, and say, not today. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get better. We're going to get stronger. We're going to do more. We're going to be more. Okay, I Digress listeners. I know I'm not the only one who's like, hashtag the struggle is real when you're trying to grow your business, increase your sales, and expand your network. And it all comes down to those vital details. I'm talking about names, emails, titles, vendors, clients, customers, and those crucial touch points referenced from past conversations. Luckily, there is a tool that readily provides the information we need to reference to keep us on track and be on our A game to get the job done. As you all know, I'm all about eliminating complexity from the business equation to create simple pathways to move your business forward. HubSpot has done that with their CRM tool, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. Instead of having your notes, conversations, data, and follow-ups all disjointed, use HubSpot CRM to create unparalleled alignment within your business to provide better customer service, amp up the quality of your sales conversations, and generate more business knowing you have the best all-around CRM platform at your disposal that can grow with you. Imagine having a live chat on your website to talk to prospects on the fly, or creating personalized content for customizable experiences. Best of all, they have a supportive community and flexible pricing that fits your needs and your budget. Learn more about how you can scale your company without scaling complexity using HubSpot CRM at HubSpot.com. So here's a curveball for you. I have had a lot of L's this year. I was desensitized to all of the losing. It's not that I just wanted to lose or quit. It just always seemed to be my lot to this point. There was just so much going on, so many things that I just couldn't achieve. I would try so hard and then it wouldn't happen. I would try so hard and then it wouldn't happen. I'd try so hard and then it wouldn't happen. And yet, despite this being a very hard year, despite this being a very challenging year, I've done some amazing things I never thought I'd ever do. Because again, if you go back to the beginning of what I said, we're so focused on the how. In our minds, we have painted the picture, we have painted the roadmap of what it is, the steps, the process to get to our destination, and we treat that as law. We treat that as Bible. We treat that as the be-all. And life is like, sorry. Business is like, that ain't how it works. And then you got to reset yourself and confront the truth for what it is right now. And understand an L today, a loss today, does not mean you're a failure. Does not mean you won't succeed. And I get it. It's different, when you're applying an analogy of basketball, you miss a shot, okay. But if you're a professional, you miss a shot that close to winning the championship, that's a big deal. But I digress. And you come up to business where you're losing money, you're losing opportunity, you're desperate for wins, you're desperate for growth, you're desperate for validation, you're just desperate to see whatever it is that you're put together and effort come together to bring the fruition out, that now you can brag about it. I don't know any SMB, small to medium-sized business, or small to medium-sized enterprise, or a Fortune 1000, or a Fortune 500, or a Fortune 100, or the top dog on campus doesn't want to feel validated, doesn't want to see the work and effort if whatever their product goes or their service delivers out to make an impact on someone. I don't know any business that does that wouldn't want that. Trust that in the end, if you keep putting in the reps, Keep knocking on doors, keep submitting proposals, keep having conversations, keep networking, keep doing whatever is necessary to keep cash flow coming in. As long as there is someone with a need for what you do, for what you sell, for what you offer, there is always a chance. There is always a chance that someone will say yes. There is always a chance that someone will refer you, that someone will hire you, that someone will give you the feedback you can use to improve, to adapt, to modify, to engineer yourself to the greater level of success you're meant to have. Entrepreneurship is hard. Growing a business is hard. Leading a team is hard. Being a manager is hard. Rising the ranks in corporate is hard. Staying at a job you hate but it pays the bills is hard. Leaving a job that you love but it's not enough is hard. Everything is hard. So no matter which way you slice it, things will be hard. You might as well put in the reps and choose the hard you want to struggle with until you surpass that hard. I get it now. And trust me, things are super hard right now. It's hard for a lot of us. We're still recovering from 2020. 2021 is just as difficult. We're trying to navigate these adjustments and pivot accordingly. Maybe going more digital. Maybe you've changed the full dynamic of your business and you're seeking help. How do I grow now? I can't network. I can't do as many in-person events, if not at all. I have to worry about so many other things now. COVID has literally changed my perspective of how I interact with people. All concerns are valid. All concerns are just not you. So many other people had those exact concerns. At the end of the day, with all that being said, you got to trust yourself. Believe in yourself. And I ain't just trying to say that because you know what? Some people tell you those things at your worst moment. You're like, I don't want to hear that. I trust myself, but the bills need to be paid. I trust myself, but I need to close that client. I trust myself, but we lost a big corporate client. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to get them back. Or COVID shut our entire business infrastructure down. Now what? Trust what? Your emotion, your anger, your bitterness, your concern, your insecurity, all valid. But what I'm challenging you to think about, what I'm challenging you to really see in this moment, that's not going away. So instead of me just sitting here and looking at those problems and just marinating on how bad it is, how do I live with those problems? Yeah, I still got imposter syndrome. I still got some insecurities, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to learn how to navigate that with it. It's kind of like when you're driving, you're driving to your destination and your check engine light comes on. I'm going to just stop going to my destination because the check engine light came on, or I'm going to navigate and adjust for having that with me. I can't have fear stop me from living my life. Does that mean I don't adapt my life to adjust to the fear that I'm dealing with? Yes. But we have to learn how to cope and modify. And it isn't easy. So some things I want you to think about, and I'll leave you with this. Is this the day my heart gets defeated? Is this the day something I post gets the right attention? Is this the day I have to pivot and put pause on everything I know out of survival? Is this the day I get a big win? Either way, it's just a blessing to have another opportunity. I don't fear scarcity. I fear not getting out of scarcity. I don't fear losing a job. I fear not getting a new job. I don't fear losing a client. I fear not getting a new client. I don't fear failing. I fear not getting back up. So stop fearing what is or what could be. Because what could be hasn't happened yet. I can only deal with what is, and what is here to stay. I am more terrified of not turning things around when things go wrong of itself. In the same way, I can't change the complexity of things that's to come in the future of my life, of my business, and neither can you of your life or your business. But what you can control is your response to when those things happen, to when those things occur. Not when they potentially could happen, but when they do knock on your door and appear, and here they are. How are you going to respond to it? How are you going to attack that? Success ain't easy. The road to success is full of potholes and craters and broken streets, probably things and broken glass to blow out a few tires or two along the way. But you came up in here and said, I want to be successful and be the greatest thing that you want to be, the greatest person, the greatest expert, whatever it is in your field, your expertise or superpower is. Well, honey, you got to lock it in and stay the course. So I'm going to be vulnerable. My fear is not failing, but rather not achieving success. My fear is not gaining opportunities that allow me to use my skills not only to impact a business or businesses or clients or whatever, but in exchange will adequately provide for me and my family. I confronted this fear. I promise to surpass that fear and succeed anyway. I challenge to make the same promise to whoever is listening, to whatever is holding you back and keeping you from giving it your all, keeping you from doing the work, keeping you from putting in the reps, keeping you from running to the cement wall until it breaks, to not give up. We're not quitters. We're going to win, you hear me? We're going to achieve things we've never achieved before. We're going to surprise ourselves to a point that when we look back at how far we've come, we won't believe we put in the work to do it. but we did. And we will. Don't be afraid of the fear. Be encouraged. Go forth. And I'll leave you with this. And I want you to say it out loud with me. My mission is bigger than my fear. My mission is bigger than my fear. My business is bigger than my fear. My business is bigger than my fear. My goals are bigger than my fear. My family is bigger than my fear. The vision I have for my life, for my business, for my success, for me is bigger than my fear. All of that which that I want in my life that I've been praying for, trying, striving for, doing everything I can, sacrificing so much to achieve is bigger than my fear. So therefore, I will not quit. I will not bow. I will bend, but I will not break. To get to my destination, to relish in the beauty of triumph, to relish in the beauty of success, to relish in the magnificent feeling that I conquered my fear, that I achieved my purpose, that I blew past everything, all the doubts, fears, insecurities, and I'm here. My business is here. My promotion was here. My goals were here. Everything I ever wanted. Sure, I'm not giving you deep strategy tactics right now. What I'm giving you is a mental jolt. Reset yourself. Your mission is bigger than your fear. I'll see you next time.
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of I Digress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.